Today's number is 53. 53 dawns, 53 sunsets until the polls close and the election is drawing close. This is the warning. One of the most uncovered stories in American politics is exactly who deplaned with Donald Trump in Philadelphia before the debate. It is scandalous that the American media will not cover the details of the thug pack that has accumulated around Donald Trump. There is a cast of weirdos, of criminals, and extremists, the likes of which has never been seen before in the entirety of American history around a person who could be president of the United States. If you truly want to understand why it is that Donald Trump went completely off of the rails in this debate, you don't need to look any further than his disordered personality, his mental illness, his lack of restraint and control, but you can't mitigate the impact of the whack pack and loon pack that was in his ear. And the serious question is, who in their right mind would tolerate any of these people around the senior military leadership of the country, in the Oval Office, around matters of life and death? There's Corey Lewandowski. There's Jason Miller. There's Boris Epstein. And of course, there's Laura Loomer, who plays a role, well, it's hard to describe, and we don't really know, other than to say Laura Loomer is sleeping somewhere where Melania is not. Melania is missing from Mar-a-Lago, but apparently this is where Laura Loomer now sleeps. You don't know who she is? Well, here's the tweet that Laura Loomer put up about the Vice President of the United States. It is despicable, and it is obscenely racist. In fact, it's so racist and so despicable that it drew the ire of a sick woman, an anti-Semite, and the biggest buffoon not named Lauren Boebert in the United States Congress, MTG. Here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said about Laura Loomer's racist attack. Now, the details of the scumbags who swirl around Trump will not be reported on by CNN, by the New York Times. In fact, all of these people are welcome on the air, all of them. And the reason for that is those networks want access to Trump. So they use their power to omit a big part of the story. And a big part of the story around Trump is who is around him and influencing him, and who are the bevy of these weirdos, nuts, and criminals that would wield real power in a Trump administration. Now, Laura Loomer is a conspiracy theorist. Laura Loomer is vicious, nasty, dangerous, and mentally ill. And she's sleeping in Mar-a-Lago, though we don't know with who. Though I kind of have a guess. But that's a story for a different day. At any rate, Laura Loomer is the person who has started the rumor that has swept the country and titillated every beating MAGA heart. The idea that hordes, maybe we should cue the drum music, tribal drums from Africa, hordes of savage, black Haitians are eating America's pets. Let's watch Donald do it again from the debate.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Think about this. It is absurd. And Kamala Harris's reaction was pitch perfect. But appreciate this for what it is. And what it is, yes, stupid. And yes, it's so stupid, that no normal person could help themselves from laughing out loud when he said it, most spectacularly, the vice president herself. Again, let's watch the insanity.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Now, the thing here is that this attack isn't funny. It is staggeringly racist, crazily so in 2024. The idea that savage Black people are swarming a town like locusts, eating the swans from the park, the dogs from the backyard, is as racist and sick and twisted a thing that has ever been spoken out loud by any political leader in America. Appreciate this for what it is. It's an update to George Wallace saying this.
Today we sound the drum for freedom, and I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
Segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. Two, they're eating the pets. Now, on CNN and some other networks, you'll see an accusatory finger pointed at Vice President Harris. You see, they say she doesn't have policies. Really? She doesn't have policies? How exactly should she engage in a great policy debate with the man who spent the lead up to the debate sending this out on his social media? What precisely do the CNN commentators presume it should be about? By the way, if it is true that this small town in Ohio has been invaded by Haitian immigrants who are eating the pets of the God-fearing, honest, law-abiding citizens of Springfield, Ohio, shouldn't their senator go there? Has he written any correspondence? Has he so much as put pen to paper with his signature to alert somebody to the great danger, the travesty at hand? Of course not, because it's not real. Here is Donald Trump out on the hustings. Wait for it. I'm going to translate some Trump speak. Standing in front of a sign that says affordable housing, he's about to do some old-fashioned race baiting and decry affordable housing.
I will save America's suburbs by protecting single-family zoning. The radical left wants to abolish the suburbs by forcing apartment complexes and low-income housing into the suburbs right next to your beautiful house. So they live in the suburbs, and I'm the one that says you can't build a low-income apartment house where people want to do harm when they move in.
No Black people in your neighborhood. I won't build low-income housing. Not that Black people inhabit the low-income housing, but in Trump's world they do. It's code. Black jobs, low-income housing, eating pets. It all means the same thing. What Donald Trump is running as is furor of a fascist movement promising protection for white America against imaginary Haitians coming to eat their pets. The presidential campaign has become a clinic of mental illness, not on both sides, on one side. And that is the story of this race. And the story that should be leading the news, all the news, every night, is that a man who wants access to the nuclear weapons that he singularly can launch cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is fantasy, cannot tell the difference between a lie and the truth, is easily manipulated, can be made to chase his tail in an instant, and is shacked up at Mar-a-Lago with one of the country's all-time greatest whack jobs out of a population of 350 million. But the media can't report it. They won't cover it as a team sport because the team, who won't like being covered, will exact consequences on the news organization and deny them access. Access is why you don't know what is going on most of the time, and you don't know and can't appreciate the threat facing the country, your community, and your family from this fascist menace. It's funny when a presidential candidate blurts out insanely in front of the entire world, having lost control and decomposed psychologically, they're eating pets.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I was shocked. I wish there was a camera to catch my facial expressions, though I doubt they would be as exquisite as hers. He is unfit. He is sick. He is angry. He's plotting revenge against us. He is surrounded by terrible people, dangerous people, all of the same types of personalities that came to power in 1930s Germany. Stephen Miller, he was on the plane too. And let's conclude by watching a minute of Stephen Miller.
I was asking you about Caracas and the numbers in Caracas. Are you trusting the numbers of the dictatorship?
I am trusting the fact that Kamala Harris is letting illegal immigrants into this country who are raping and murdering children. Children are dead, and you are wasting my time.
No, I am not wasting your time. I'm asking for facts as a journalist.
Do you have any remorse for the dead children? Do you care at all about the dead children?
Can you see what's behind his eyes? Can you see the hate beating up on him like sweat drops, bursting out of him, dripping out of him? This is a dangerous person. And when you add him with the guy who told the country the Haitians are eating the pets, the danger cannot be overstated. And by the way, when Laura Loomer talked about the smell of curry in the White House, it was racist. The smell we need to get rid of in the White House is the Trump smell. It stinks like shit. And that smell is going to take a lot longer than 4 years or even 10 to cleanse away. And we should always remember that she is every bit as despicable as he. And together, these bookends of insanity, his lament for the eaten pets and her conspiracy about the assassination attempt, fit perfectly together like a hand in a glove. It's a perfect thing for the Donald to talk about with Laura Loomer over morning coffee out on some patio in Mar-a-Lago. When their breakfast is served, let's just hope it's not someone's pet. This is The Warning. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.